Hello, everyone. So today we will be reacting to RGT85's the new Nintendo Switch leak is a game changer. Sorry, I had to match the energy of the title, so let's get started.
So the world is anticipating April 2nd, 2025, and the full-on reveal of the Nintendo Switch 2. I think even if you're not a Nintendo fan, it is going to be exciting to see what this system brings to the table. What's different about it versus the standard Nintendo Switch? How are they...
I mean, again, we really do just think that it's going to be a PS4 quality portable, which, I would say that's great. That's neat if it was back in 2017. If I'm being honest, I know some Nintendo fanboys are gonna be like, oh, but no, that's still pretty good, bro. The Steam Deck already came out 3 years before this thing, man. Like, come on, man.
Joy-Con's going to be? Will it have the mouse functionality that so many of us are anticipating it having? And of course, the most important thing, what are the games? What are we going to be playing on the new hardware from Nintendo, and how different is it going to be?
Most likely more full-priced Wii games, more full-priced GameCube games that they're going to port over to the console individually because they saw that worked. Right? Let's be honest here. The Switch had more full-priced ports than they actually did new games. Right? Wii U ports, Wii ports, GameCube ports, you name it, they were all full priced. Which kind of made the Switch unvaluable, right? Especially if you're a Nintendo fan.
From the original Nintendo Switch. I know many of us are looking forward to it, and I especially am because it's fun to talk about new hardware, especially when it comes to us from Nintendo. But with the Switch 2, and kind of the lead up to it thus far, there's been some patents that we've been talking about for several months on this channel that kind of coincide with what to expect from the hardware potentially. I'm not saying it's a foregone conclusion. I'm not saying it's definitely going to happen. We recently talked about the whole GameCube situation potentially coming to Nintendo Switch 2 online and things like that. But I do feel like these patents do give us a little bit of a glimpse as to what the system is going to be doing. And one of the patents that we've been talking about for a while on the channel is, of course, upscaling. Artificial intelligence upscaling. Types of DLSS.
Oh my god, I don't understand the hype behind this, man. I'm not trying to be a negative Nancy or anything, but guys, please think about this real quick, okay? We are still having issues with AI upscaling with PC. Can you just think about that? Can you fanboys and or even regular people please think about that real quick? We are having issues, okay, with the PC doing it. And if you want to go to consoles, we're also having issues with the PS5 Pro doing it. What? Please, by any means, just help me think about this real quick, or help me understand this real quick, right? How on earth is the Nintendo Switch 2 going to do the same thing, but better? How is it going to be anything exciting? It's not. It's not going to be anything exciting, guys. It's going to be a mess of a thing. And we saw that Nintendo really doesn't care. Can we just be honest? We saw that they don't care about the stupid stick drift on their Joy-Cons. And it's really bad on there. Like, really bad. And they don't even care about doing significant boosts in their hardware. Like, really? This should be more powerful than a Steam Deck. I'm sorry, but it's not. At least on paper, it's not. Again, who knows? Maybe that AI stuff will work with the Switch 2. I doubt it. I sincerely doubt it. I don't think so. But yeah, just think about it, guys. Please, just think about it.
Which is obviously the future of video games and video game graphics and development, in my opinion. You're at the point of diminishing returns with hardware and what you can actually really do with it to sort of push it into another realm. So I feel like this sort of stuff is going
hey, that's a good point, though. Hardware on consoles is diminishing. That's why, in my opinion, it would have been very, very smart for Nintendo. I know that this might be what are you talking? You're talking crazy. Look, I understand, but just think about this real quick, okay? If Nintendo made the Switch 2 as powerful as a PS5 and they made it dual screen, think about it. They wouldn't need another portable for like 10 plus years, guys. I swear, I guarantee you that. They wouldn't need another portable for another 10 plus years. And you guys are probably saying, well, why wouldn't they want to make another console with, so that they could sell to other people? That's the thing, though. Will it sell to other people, especially with other portable consoles on the horizon? that do a better job than the Nintendo Switch 2 and the Nintendo Switch 1. It will do a better job than the Switch 2. Mark my words, guys. This AI upscaling is not going to do anything. I promise you. I promise you that. You know? Like, again, it doesn't work with more powerful hardware. What makes you think it's going to magically work for the Switch 2? Come on, guys. Come on.
Circumvent issues that are created when it comes to weaker hardware but trying to hit a certain level of graphical fidelity. I mean, we've already seen the PlayStation 5 Pro with PSR, PSSR.
And I'm going to be honest with you guys. Sorry, I just want to say this real quick too. I don't care if it has the best graphics in the world. I just want the best games to be made around it. Like, I'm sorry, but for the last 8 years, we have seen the suffering as Nintendo fans, real Nintendo fans, I mean, not the idiots who are like, oh, well, as long as it has my Marios and Zeldas, I'm okay. Yeah, you're a fake fan. You're an idiot. I'm sorry. But it's okay if you like Mario and Zelda, but don't think that that's enough to sell a fucking console, because it's not, guys. It's really not. Some people want to see a brand new F-Zero game. You probably don't because you're not a Nintendo fan. Sorry, not sorry. Right? I mean, I personally want an open world F-Zero game where you play as Captain Falcon as a bounty hunter, as an actual bounty hunter. And then the races, you know, you could do to earn money or experience, whatever, right? Like, it's another thing you could do in the game, but you could also go around and bounty hunt as well. Wouldn't that be fucking awesome? I don't think the Switch 2 is capable of a game like that. You know? I don't think so. These motherfuckers could barely make Pokemon games on the original Nintendo Switch. Come on, guys. Come on.
They're using something that's more similar to FSSR4.
Attention, commanders. HIDE 404's squad leader, the elite
On the PS4 Pro starting in 2026, or the PS5 Pro starting in 2026. So this upscaling is here to stay. And when you're talking about upscaling, I mean, NVIDIA and DLSS is kind of the gold standard. When you see how it takes an image and it makes it look so much better on weaker PCs and allows you things like higher visual fidelity and higher frame rates, this is how the Nintendo Switch 2 is going to be able to keep up with the Joneses.
Yeah, but on multiplayer, or when it comes to multiplayer as well, even single player too, sometimes the frame rate is not accounted for. In fact, it messes up and adds latency. So, yeah, that's what I at least heard. I never tried this DSSL shit, or DLSS, sorry. That stuff, I never tried it, and I never will. Like, I already know it's a waste of time. Artificially improving your performance, that's a terrible idea. That's an awful idea. Who's the idiot that thought of that? That's the stupidest idea in the world. How about you guys just optimize your fucking games, shitty-ass developers? How about you do that? Crazy thought, I know.
With Nintendo's little secret sauce. Well, a new patent was discovered. It's actually not technically new, but it is an updated patent that shows basically some sort of upscaling. And I know many people are going to look at this and immediately think of one thing, but I'm kind of going in a bit of a different direction.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all too. I don't see a difference. Like, I don't even care. I don't even think I care to see a difference, but I don't see a single fucking difference. Can you guys? This is like the PS5 versus the PS5 Pro all over again, bro. I don't see a single fucking difference here. I really don't. Oh, except I guess more shine on that thing. Whoa, big deal. I don't care.
Take a look at the image
Oh,
here.
wait, no,
You can
never
see
mind.
that it is broken up
That wasn't
into
even
a few
for
different
that
pieces,
specific
and
thing.
basically the starting point to the ending point. You have the render image, a 540p image, the prepare image, input data, reorganized to matrix so that Neo...
I
and
don't
more-
see a difference. You could throw these stupid things at my face all the time in the world. I don't care. I do not see a difference. I don't see a difference.
can mess with it. 16 by 16 passive Neo activations, rule
Yeah,
image
blah,
right here,
blah,
which is an
blah. We
official
don't care.
form, but there's something that can be utilized for the Nintendo Switch 2. And maybe that's the case. I'm not writing that off in any way, shape, or form, but there's something that really sticks out to me in this pack for Switch 1 game that bothers me to the point of where I almost think that it's not for the Switch 2 as far as new Switch 2 games are concerned, but potentially for Switch 1 games. And I know that's kind of crazy because I've been kind of the mindset where I'm like, you know, I don't think there's going to be any...
Well, yeah, but again, like, how do you know that's going to work? You know what I mean? How do you know that's going to work? Instead of just making your remasters properly for the Switch games, because I can understand that. Yeah, no, we all want our Switch 1 games to run better. I think we could all fucking agree on that, right? Like, honestly, that's why I wanted the Switch Pro. Basically, this is the console that I wanted from Nintendo 3 fucking years ago. You know what I mean? Before the Steam Deck came out. So the fact that they didn't do it and now they're doing it as a new console when really their new console should have been a dual screen handheld, I'm sorry. this isn't exciting to me, especially because on paper it's less powerful than a Steam Deck. Come on, man. Like, how is this exciting hardware? This is basically the Switch 1, but a tiny bit upgraded. Guys, come on, man. Who's excited for this garbage?
I've been kind of the mindset where I'm like, I don't think there's going to be any sort of graphical updates to Switch 1 games on the Switch 2. Maybe companies themselves will like make a patch, but as far as like brute forcing something where you have a game and the game automatically upscales to the Switch 2 that was a Switch 1 game, I didn't really foresee that as a possibility. But there's something in this image that makes me kind of think that, and that's the 540p image that is shown here. Because yes, I'm not expecting companies to make, native 4K games for the Nintendo Switch 2. I
don't care about that either.
Will be a lot of games that are potentially 720p or 1080p or 900p, and then those are upscaled via Nintendo DLSS stuff for the Switch 2 to make them look more enhanced. A game like Super Mario Odyssey, that is a 900p game.
Dude, guys, I'm going to say this right now. Optimization is dead. Optimization is dead, Like, remember when we went from, how amazing DS games ran to how decently 3DS games ran? Right? And then we go to the Switch and we're like, wow, this runs like shit. It's almost like you should make experiences around the Switch. I don't care if they put on other consoles and other devices, obviously. I welcome it, in fact. Go ahead. But it's like, maybe that's why you should make more fucking games around the original Nintendo Switch. Crazy, right? Wow.
Looks fantastic. So Super Mario Odyssey 2,
doesn't have to be exclusive,
or whatever the case may be, if that is a native 900p game that gets an upscale boost from the Nintendo Switch 2 and the new technology, the upscaling within that kind of makes sense to me. But I don't foresee many companies targeting a 540p image or a Switch.
Honestly, companies are just dumb. They're just really, really stupid. Like, hey, let's not utilize this console over here that we have an excuse to charge, like, for more money, right? Like, okay, take, for example, Doom 2016. Okay, that ran fairly like shit on the Switch, right? Fair enough, let's just be honest. We didn't expect it to run amazingly, because it wasn't made around around the Nintendo Switch. But how about this? How about they make a game that's actually fairly utilized on the Switch? Like, say, another Doom game that's smaller, maybe, like less hardware straining on the Switch, and they make it around the Switch hardware, and then they just port it to other consoles. And it'll be less money. It'll be like $50 or something like that. I think that's a really fair thing to do, don't you guys think? Right? It's like the Switch is was honestly a good way to cut down on spending on games. Can we just be honest? Like, damn. We did not need the Switch, we do not need games reaching over $200 million and shit like that when they don't even look that good. Come on, bro. Let's be honest. Come on. But, the Switch 1 could have really helped with that. Truly.
To native game. Like, I guess you could, but it seems like to me that would be more work than doing something that's more, especially for like a multi-platform game. That seems like it would be so much more work to make a super downgraded version and rely on upscaling to take that game and make it, look like a modern game than it would be just.
I don't know about that, but hey, I hope he's right about that, because personally, I don't want them. I really, really, really don't want them to to depend on that DSLL shit or whatever it's called, DLSS shit. I really don't. That's a stupid idea. Hey, let's artificially increase your frame rates. Then it's not increasing it. You're just making it look like it is. That's not the same thing. That's not the same thing. God.
Do it at 720p or 900p or some other, variant of that. Like, that is a very low metric. So when I look at this, I'm almost thinking to myself, could this have to do with Switch 1 games running on the Switch 2? Because there are quite a few games that have very low, visual fidelity comparative to the other systems that they came out on.
Yeah, like the Pokemon games, or that didn't come out on other systems, obviously, but it's the Pokemon games run like shit on the Switch. Forget the third party, guys. Their first party games also ran like shit. The Xenoblade games, the Pokemon games, hell, even Zelda Breath of the Wild, let's be honest, right? Especially at launch. Let's see now. I know there are other ones. Oh yeah, even Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door remake, quote unquote. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? That ran less like it ran at 30, meanwhile the original one ran at 60. Are you fucking shitting me? Are you shitting me? I swear, man. Nintendo, you're getting fucking lazy, and I hope the Switch 2, if you continue with that, I hope the Switch 2 fails, or fails more, right? And then the Switch 3 will fail even more, and then so on and so forth, you know? They're not going to keep up the Switch 1 numbers, especially if they keep doing this shit, absolutely.
Or games that have sections with a dynamic frame rate, where it's 720p sometimes, 540p other times. Look at a game like Xenoblade Chronicles 2. You know, people tell me it's such a great game, but like, bro, I play my... Switch in handheld mode other times. Look at a game like Xenoblade Chronicles 2. You know, people tell me it's such a great game, but like, bro, I play my Switch in handheld mode a lot. And when I'm playing that game in handheld mode, it is not visually appealing at all. It is sub 480p.
Yep, exactly. Exactly.
In the year that the game came out, which was 2017, like, even that was dated back then. Now, you know, in 2025, like, that's just ridiculous. So if I'm able to play this game in handheld mode on the Switch...
Thank you. Exactly. Most people should be playing this on fucking handheld mode. This is not a home console. This is a portable at heart. So I don't know why the fuck you dumbasses are playing this as a home console. I don't understand that. The hell? Or, I'm sorry, you're treating it like a home console. Obviously, you having the option is not a bad thing. What I'm saying, though, is that you guys are acting like this is a home console. It is not. It is not. It's not. In fact, home console-wise, this has even less capabilities than the Wii U. Like, seriously, what I mean by that is you're not even able to fit as much, on average, I mean, without spending a fuck ton of money. You're not even able to fit as much data of a video game onto the Switch cartridge than you can the Wii U. Stop being stupid.
Too, and it gets a resolution bump from this upscaling technology that Nintendo is using without having to do anything additional. Like, that to me sounds very attractive. That to me actually, I think, elongates my Switch 1 library, because maybe games, because I put like 15 plus hours into Xenoblade Chronicles 2, but it was just so, you know, janky and low resolution in handheld mode that I was like, bro, I can't play this anymore. Like, this actually hurts my eyes. But I might want to revisit that now. And I think that would potentially breathe a lot of life into Nintendo Switch 1 games, and companies can still do, you know, upgrade patches and stuff like that if they would rather sort of hone something in like this. But I don't necessarily think
and like, this is a shame too. Like, this game should not be running that badly on the Switch. Like, why is it running that badly? The combat is not even that eccentric. You're like, the animations are terrible. The animations for Xenoblade are fucking awful. And they're treating it like, oh man, it's just, I didn't mean to do that. It's this, like, huge thing, like, oh my god. Bro, it's not that grand of a game. Chill out. The Wii one almost looked as good, if not better, than these fucking shitty ones on the Switch. The Wii one looked better. God.
This patent is being done in mind,
especially
with
the
Switch
art
2
style.
games.
Ew, look at that generic anime slop. Friggin' kill me.
40p thing. I can't imagine
the original one
companies...
looked at least a little bit more realistic. Like, I actually liked that the game looked a little bit more muddy on the Wii, because that makes sense. The thing is supposed to portray reality with this anime art style. That's fine. But this just, this looks like ugly ass cartoon baby hour bullshit. Like, what the hell is this, man? What are these animations? What are these animations? Ugly ass PS2 wannabe motherfucker. Ugh.
Would target that
Kill it with
as
fire.
As their base rendering, and then just, you know, use this upscaling to sort of brute force their game to go up to 1080p or something like that. Now, of course, you have to factor in a myriad of things, because obviously things like this aren't just going to come out of thin air as far as, you know, hardware is concerned. You know, this will do things like potentially impact battery life and how long you're going to be able to play the games in handheld mode. This could be something that's just tied to the dock. I don't really foresee that being a thing, because this definitely seems much more hardware based than, you know, something extra in the dock itself. But who really knows? You know, I'm just kind of theorizing with this. I'm just throwing this out into the atmosphere, because I like to look at...
This game looks so bad. I swear. It's like they just took assets and just dumped it on a game. It looks so fucking ugly. Yeah, Nintendo, you're losing your touch. You really are. Ew.
things kind of from a different perspective. I
This
feel like
game
most
looks
people that are
fucking
looking at this are
horrible.
just like, oh, well, this is kind
Talentless
of an example
freaks.
of the DLSS for the Nintendo Switch 2. And it very may well be. But that 540p image as the baseline, as the native image, I don't know, man. That just doesn't sit right with me for a console that's coming out in 2025. If you're still struggling to make games at 540p on the Switch 2, that really sounds like a
I'm
you problem.
sorry. What the hell is this PS2 looking ass game?
Sounds like a developmental problem because I have $300 mini PCs
It's actually
that can
pissing
run
me off looking
top-notch
at it,
games
bro.
at decent frame rates and better resolutions than that. And you would expect the Switch 2 to be much more optimized as a handheld platform than something like a random Chinese mini PC that I have. So
Exactly, bro. Yep, he's right. More games on the Switch or Nintendo hardware in general, I guess, going forward, is not made around it. Can you argue that the DS games weren't made around the DS? Absolutely not. You'd sound like an idiot saying such a thing. You know? Absolutely. You'd sound stupid. Right? Hell, even though I didn't even like the 3DS that much, it was still more of a portable, an actual portable, than the dumbass Switch was. I mean, holy hell. Even had like some, little fun recordings that you could do. You could go on the web browser. It had a Netflix app. Like, holy shit. Like, the 3DS seemed more advanced than the fucking Switch did. Like, holy hell, man. And don't even get me started with what you're able to do with the Wii U. Dude, the Switch is a joke. It really was. I'm sorry. That shit was a mid-ass console from Nintendo, and you guys know it. You didn't have that many your original games even, so don't even try to act like you did. Most of the games were Wii U ports, Wii ports at full price, and GameCube ports at full price. I mean, that kind of is redundant because all of the ports were full price. But whatever, no, this is a joke. This is an absolute joke.
these are just my thoughts on the situation. I'm not saying this is factual. I'm not saying this is actual. I'm just saying this is a possibility. And the more I look at this graph that we have for this from the patent that Nintendo has updated themselves, the more I'm kind of leaning towards, you know, maybe this is for Switch 1 games. And if that's the case, shit, man, that's gonna be really cool. Like, I will definitely revisit some Switch 1 games that are, especially like third party.
Yeah, we'll see about that. I mean, I'll see if I get the Switch too, if I'm being honest. Like, I do have a lot of Switch games. I'm just thinking about selling them so I can just buy more games on Steam, if I'm being honest. Like, that's probably the way to go, because, like, honestly, Nintendo does not seem like they're going to be the hardware for me at all. Like, really. They're just not valuable anymore. Like, again, you could look at the DS. It was cheaper than the rest of the competition. It had, games that were also made around it. You know, same with the PSP, by the way. But yeah, you know what I mean. But it's like, you could argue that games were more made around the DS than even games that were made on the PSP were made around the PSP, right? Like, come on, man. It's just kind of common sense. You know, like, you could really tell that games are not made around the Switch as much as they should be. So, you know. The only thing that kind of differs from that is Dying Light. Even The Witcher 3 kind of looks like shit on the Wii U, right? But I think it runs decently. I don't know. I haven't played it, and I'm not going to play that on the Switch. Yeah, so I don't know, man.
Games that, you know, were good, but like they definitely could have used a little bit of a boost like that. I definitely will revisit some of those games because obviously, you know, there's going to be times of quietness or maybe games that don't appeal to me on the Switch 2 that come out. So this would be nice to kind of fill in the gaps. Let me know in the comment section down below, though. How do you view the patent? Do you think this is for Switch?
Alrighty then. So, yeah, this wasn't a bad video. I kind of agree with a lot of the stuff that he says, like a lot of negative things, of course. About the original Switch. I think we all do at this point. Like, you're just lying to yourself if you don't. Like, the Switch was even dated when it came out, you know? And the fact that they didn't give us a portable console that's as powerful as a PS5, or at least almost as powerful as a PS5, is an absolute joke. It really is. You know, and that, again, that would have benefited them, because look at the Switch 1 now. It is, soon to be the best-selling console of all time, yet they're going to have to leave it. They're going to have to leave it sooner or later because they were stupid and didn't make it as powerful as the PS4 like they should have. They really should have. Because they wouldn't even need the Switch 2 until, like, I would say maybe a year from now, right? I would say a year from now. And even then, it's like, even then, like, the Switch 2, if it was as powerful as the PS5, you wouldn't need another console for, like, 10 plus years, if I'm being honest. You really wouldn't. You wouldn't. It's crazy. Of course, they're going to release a Switch 2 Pro or something like that, when and if it was powerful as a PS5. But, hey, I mean, it just makes a lot more sense if they just did that in the first place, right? I don't know, man. So, yeah, anyways, let me know in the comments below what you think of the Switch 2, what might happen with it, blah, blah, blah. And, yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.